If you love beef, well then this video is for you. Look, I absolutely love meat, whether it's steak, hamburger, shepherd's pie, meatloaf, you name it. If it has red meat involved, I'm probably gonna love it. So this is a tough video for me to make, but I promise if you stick around to the end, it will all make sense. Not all beef is created equal. There's a massive and pretty scary difference between the store-bought beef that we have access to and getting grass-fed farm-raised beef. In fact, a large amount of the beef that we can purchase here in the United States isn't even raised in the USA. And that's not even the worst part. The part that scares me the most is that over 80% of the antibiotics that are used here in the United States of America are actually used on our food. This is not good for the humans who are consuming that meat, and it's probably a good reason why so many people in the United States of America are sick. Listen, I'm not a doctor and nothing that I go over in this video is medical advice. I was just as shocked when I found this information out for myself. Just look it up. But here's the good news. There is quality beef raised right here in the United States of America, loaded with dense nutrition and no antibiotics or junk. You just have to know where to look. More on that later. First, I want to talk about the true difference between grass-fed beef and traditionally raised beef that's fed low-quality grains and antibiotics. Let's dig in. I want to talk about some of the risks that are associated with eating low-quality beef. And when I say the word low-quality beef, I'm talking about cows that are raised in intense farming systems, fed a diet high in grains, and supplemented with hormones and other antibiotics that can pose some health risks to us consuming it, but also the environment. Let's talk about it. Risk number one is there's a higher level of saturated fats. Beef from cattle-raised feedlots fed grain-based diets tend to have higher levels of saturated fats than grass-fed beef. Excessive consumption of saturated fats has been linked to some cardiovascular and heart issues. Number two, there's a lower level of nutrients. Low-quality beef typically has lower levels of essential nutrients. This is because traditionally raised cattle don't have access to the sun, nor do they have access to the natural foods that they want to eat outside, such as grass. By eating only grains and not having access to the sun, they're missing out on essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Risk number three, and this is a scary one, is the residue of antibiotics and hormones. Beef from conventionally raised cattle may contain residues of hormones and antibiotics that were used in their production. While regulatory agencies have limits on how much residue can be found in this beef, prolonged exposure of the antibiotic residue from this beef can actually impact your ability to fight off bacterial infections naturally. Risk number four is there could be a higher risk of contaminants in the meat. Sometimes these farm cattle are mistreated as they're growing up, and when they're mistreated as cows, they're also mistreated when they are being processed, which is scary because there could be a higher risk of potentially contracting E. coli and other contaminants during the processing. Consumption of contaminated beef could lead to foodborne illnesses and, even worse, potential gut issues. Risk number five is the environmental impact. There's many beef production plants that have a significant impact on the environment through deforestation, water pollution, and some of you might think this is crazy, but greenhouse gas effects as well. Low quality beef production typically rely heavily on feed crops that require a large amount of water, pesticides, fertilizers, and contribute to a huge biodiversity loss. All that to say, when you're eating grain-fed cows, you're losing out on the nutrition that God's already provided for us in our soils. It's called regenerative farming, and it's powerful for our environment. Now that's some of the risks eating low quality beef. Let's talk about the benefits to eating grass-fed beef. Grass-fed beef is extremely nutrient dense. It's often much richer in vitamins, minerals such as vitamin E, vitamin K, vitamin B, and the list is extremely long. Not only that, it comes in a very bioavailable form, meaning your body can digest and use these vitamins and minerals much easier. Additionally, grass-fed beef contains higher levels of valuable compounds such as natural antioxidants and omega-3 fatty acids. Grass-fed beef actually has a much healthier profile of different fats. Typically has a much higher proportion of the beneficial fats such as the omega-3 fatty acids and CLA, which both of those have been associated with lower inflammation, improved heart health, and even help with weight management. So you can eat healthy fats to actually lose the bad fat we don't like. There's a much lower risk of contaminants. Grass-fed cows are typically raised with much less intense farming practices, and since they don't use antibiotics or hormones, there's almost no risk of having any of those contaminants in your diet. Since the cows are regenerating the soil, meaning they're eating the grass and then they're pooping on the grass, fertilizing the grass, there's actually a positive impact on the environment by consuming grass-fed cows. There's also less reliance on synthetic practices such as using fertilizers or pesticides, and that can contribute to a healthier soil and a healthier ecosystem for all of us. And more importantly, most of the grass-fed beef you buy, you can actually track down the exact farm that the cow even came from. Knowledge is power, my friends. No matter what your stance is, whether you're eating grass-fed beef at all times, you try to eat grass-fed beef, or you don't eat any grass-fed beef, I hope this video is a little bit more educational for you and explains the real differences between eating the traditionally farmed cows and then the grass-fed cows. And it's kind of hard for me to explain the most important impact to me, and that's the taste. When you eat high-quality beef raised off of grass and even finished off with high-quality grains and even fruit, like some of the beef that I've been eating recently, it tastes so much better. You can actually taste the love and the sweetness of the cow. That might sound silly, but it's true. But you might be asking yourself, well, David, there's so many different sources of getting beef. Where do you get quality beef from? Well, I can tell you that I've tried so many of the different ship to your house services. I've tried to buy the healthiest beef you can find at the local stores, and almost all of them have fallen short. But there is one brand that I'm not even endorsed by, but I have to tell you about, and it's called Primal Beef. Primal Beef is American-owned, American-raised black Angus cattle raised right here in the United States of America in the Shenandoah Valley, which I just Googled, and it's the most beautiful place I think I've ever seen. I need to visit, actually. I need to take a trip out there with the family. It looks absolutely beautiful. But these cows get to roam the valley, eat the grass, regenerate the soil. They're loved, processed with care, and you can have any cut that you want shipped right to your door. I have to tell you, it's worth checking out. I wanted to at least give you a resource. If you watch this video all the way to this point, Primal Beef is my beef of choice. And I will have a link to their website right down in the description below. I'd encourage you to order some of their beef and tell me in the comments below if you like it or if you hate it. I actually want to know. I just really like the founder, I really like the company, and I love that you can track down and figure out exactly where your cow was raised. Now, I hope this video had some value. I hope you picked up some nuggets. If you did, please hit that like button, share it with a friend. Leave a comment if you have any questions at all that I didn't go over in this video. I think it's super important to educate yourself and do research for yourself. Hopefully this video is able to help you make the decision to switch over to grass-fed, ethically raised beef. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day, my friends, and God bless. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Once again, if you have any questions, pop them down in the comments below. If you want to figure out how I actually take beef organs on a regular basis, check this video out right here. It's a video I made a long time ago, but it's still a relevant video and I still take it this way today. So check this video right here and I'll see you guys on the next one.